There is a new live action Disney movie coming out. You might have heard about it, Snow White. But unlike a lot of Disney, this is not one that I'm going to kind of make an effort to go out and see at cinemas. There are reasons for that, and that's why I'm here. So, this Snow White has been a long time coming. It's been in development for a long time, and through that development process, there have been a lot of changes. Now, I don't have any connections to the background, so I'm going on what I have seen, what I've seen reported, the information that I have. Um, and part of that is that Peter Dinklage is an actor of short stature, possibly one of the most well-known out there. To the best of my knowledge, Mr. Dinklage made a comment or made some commentary about Snow White and the dwarves, um, and there being progress in some areas, but not feeling like there was progress as far as the dwarves story went. And he made it clear that for him, that wasn't something that the story in its form was not something that he wanted to be involved with. Following those comments, Disney decided to make all of their dwarves CGI rather than seeking out short-statured people to play the dwarves. They were now going to animate them, essentially. Um, Thereby taking away a lot of potential for actors of short stature who might have had differing views to Peter Dinklage, and wanted to be involved. Because the thing is, Peter Dinklage is one person in the community, not everybody, and doesn't necessarily speak for everyone in that community either. The one person that I'm aware of with lived experience in the production is a fellow by the name of Martin Kleber. Kleber, I hope I'm saying that right. Um, he, as far as I'm aware, Martin will be voicing Grumpy. I'm unaware of any other lived experience involvement as far as voices for the other dwarves or anything like that. Um, but something I do know is that it can be done because looking back, um, Martin Kleber was actually involved in another adaptation of Snow White, possibly my personal favorite adaptation of Snow White, the fairest of them all. In that rendition, adaptation, whatever you want to call it, the majority of the quote unquote dwarves, if not all of them, the majority, with the exception of one who was on purpose not a person of short stature because that was part of the story. And it's a really cool storyline that I'm not going to spoil just in case anyone wants to track it down and watch it. Um, but anyhow, with the exception of that one actor, to the best of my knowledge, the other six dwarves were all played by people of short stature. That proves that it can be done. And I'm kind of disappointed that Disney didn't embrace the opportunity with this live action retelling of Snow White to embrace lived experience a bit more, to have more actors with lived experience. It's awesome that they've got Martin Clever. That is a step, and it's certainly better than no lived experience at all. But I would have liked to have seen more. Um, One day I might see the film, maybe when it comes out on TV or a streaming service that I happen to have access to. Maybe I'll see it then, and then it'll be a slightly different conversation about how the film actually did. But for now, that's why I'm not going to go and make an effort to see it in cinemas because I don't want to support the lack of lived experience involvement when I feel like there could have been more. Um, that's again, as I said, not to take away from the fact that Martin Clever is involved. Um, Thrilled with that, but just at this stage, at this time, not for me.